Hello and welcome. This is from the CBN. I'm William Misidada. Nigeria has yet again recorded a major feat. This time, it now ranks among the top producers of urea fertilizers in the world, enough to meet the demands of local farmers and the excess processed for export. Urea fertilizer provides plants with nitrogen to promote green leafy growth and make the plants look lush. In this episode, we'll tell you more about this new national attainment, which was made possible through the support of the Central Bank of Nigeria. We'll also bring to you a report on how the livelihood of more than 15,000 registered cassava farmers in Rivers State in the southern part of the country is being enhanced, courtesy of the recently opened cassava processing plant in Afam, Rivers State, plus how the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, led its deputies at the bank on a tree planting exercise to commemorate this year's World Environment Day. Stay with us. Last Friday, June the 4th, was a rainy day in Lagos, but that didn't deter the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, and a team of top bankers in Nigeria from visiting the Dangote fertilizer and petrochemical facility in Ibeju-Lekki, Lagos. It was the final inspection of the fertilizer plant by the bankers, who were part of the conceptualization of the project from the onset about 7 years ago. They were also there to inspect the petrochemical refinery plants, commissioning of which will be concluded by year end, while production is expected to start by next year March ending.
This journey is a journey that not too many people believe would come to light today. It's a journey for the building and establishment of. For now, it is estimated to cost about $17 billion refinery, petrochemical, and fertilizer plant. It's a 3 million tons urea plant. And I'm saying that by the time we add what we have, the existing capacity from Indorama, which is about 1.5 million metric tons, Notore maybe about 300 metric tons, we have close to, in Nigeria now, about 5 million metric tons capacity of urea. What does this mean? And Nigeria needs barely 1 million, or even if we want to exaggerate it, 1.5 million metric tons of urea. So we have potential to export at least 3 to 3.5 million metric tons of urea to different parts of the world. Nigeria now ranks amongst the leading, if not the leader, in the production of urea in the world. This, for me, is a story that I said earlier, no one would have believed would happen in Nigeria. I'm very extremely delighted that we were able to have a field of urea. And I'm saying the Nigerian agricultural sector will continue to blossom, will continue to see the massive growth and yield in agriculture can continue to improve.
We knew we were doing something extremely ambitious. But quite frankly, I'm not sure that we knew the full magnitude of what we were taking on as bankers in Nigeria. But let me tell you what gave us pride. The fact that we could come together and support a Nigerian to create what would be a world-class manufacturing enterprise is something for every banker in Nigeria. I think is a major source of pride. And I think I speak on behalf of myself and my colleagues out here today. Today we saw urea produced, we saw it bagged, we saw it loaded on the buses, and just as Alhaji said, I think from Monday, proper sales will start. That is, by any stretch of imagination, a very, very important milestone for Nigeria and for Dangote as well. But I think just as important is that the banks are also happy that for anybody who's been wondering, is this thing coming to fruition, it has actually come to happen.
The 3 million metric tons fertilizer plant alone is expected to generate more than $1.2 billion in foreign exchange from export proceeds.
It's a massive project, we have actually, tried. And, Governor, I must really thank you for not even getting tired of us, for always encouraging us. Anytime when our spirit was sort of a bit low, you always jack us up and say, no, please, we have to even do more. The urea that we went to see, that's actually, just a small percentage of the gas that we have actually been flaring in the country. And you can see really what that means. It means that we alone, just this 3 million tons of urea, you are talking about bringing in over $1.2 billion into the country in terms of foreign exchange. So you cannot really imagine, and they are projecting that urea before end of this year is going to get from $420 to about $550 per ton. So if that's the case, can you imagine if Nigeria was sort of to be importing urea? The port charges, the congestion in Apapa and Tinkan Island. So it means that farmers wouldn't even be possible for them to plant at all. Because to carry urea is not really a job. It's a very voluminous cargo. And I think really we must really thank you, Mr. Governor, and also the bankers for making. And by the grace of God, before end of this month, we'll start bringing in dollars in on the first line that we have commissioned. And Mr. Governor, I know that you are looking for other people who are ready and willing to risk their capital to come and establish this kind of industrial zone. You are not doing it only for us, you are doing it for the country. We shouldn't wait for crude to be sold. We have a lot of gas, so we should now target mostly gas-based industries, so we can make a lot of dollars, and we will now be able to, so we need to look at it, transforming the industrial capacity of the country, earning dollars, and at the same time, doing what you call import substitution, because it's not possible for Nigeria to just keep importing milk, wheat. A lot of countries have actually stopped all these crazy imports, but we are lagging behind, and I encourage the entrepreneurs to risk their capital in doing most of this industry.
Mr. Emefiele once again used the opportunity of the visit to call on the youth to embrace agriculture as a means of creating wealth for themselves.
The yield from, for instance, rice or paddy has risen to almost as high as 8 to 10 tons per hectare. When we started this journey about 4 or 5 years ago, yield per hectare was just about 1 to 1.5 metric tons per hectare. So we're making progress. And in the area of cassava, yield was as low as, I understand, almost about just 10 tons per hectare. But today, with the kind of cassava stems that we get from the IITA in Ibadan, yield has increased to about 35 to 38 tons per hectare. In the area of even dairy, the people in milk will tell you before now, that they can't get more than even some of the cows come with about just 2 liters, right? 2 liters per day, and the rest of today we are beginning to see companies like Promasidor, even Friesland Campina, bringing in different variants of cows that can give us close to about 30 to 35 liters per cow per day from the dairy business. So we're doing a lot, and you know what happens when the yield goes up? It means your cost comes down, and then your revenue increases, and that's what I'm saying. And I will, at the slightest opportunity, continue to encourage everybody, particularly our youths, that look, agriculture today is business where you make money. We funded some people in prime anchors that we funded almost about 9 to 10 billion naira during the last planting season. And they made profit of at least close to about 15 to 20 billion naira. It is there on their balance sheet. So I don't know which other business you will go into that you may make more than 100% in profit. It is only in agriculture you can find it. And to investors, it is only in Nigeria that you can see the kind of yield that you get from your investments. And I can only continue to encourage everybody to join us in this battle, because we must feed our people. Nigeria must be one of those countries in the world that can assure its people of food security. And that is why we are in this journey. But I'm also saying you are in it because you can make money for yourself, create jobs for yourself, and also employ people and reduce the level of unemployment in the country.
Up until a few years ago, Nigeria produced far less than it consumed, spending up to $22 billion annually on importation. Then came the import policy by the federal government. Now, to survive, the nation must learn to be self-sufficient. And so far, we are on the verge of achieving this through the intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria and other stakeholders in support of local farmers and efforts of value chain entrepreneurs. Now, the goal of creating 10 million jobs in 5 years through 10 commodities is gradually being actualized. Let's buy Nigerian to grow Nigeria.
Welcome back. Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava in the world, but still imports over $580 million worth of cassava byproducts annually. That narrative is set to change with the launch of a 45,000 tons cassava processing plant in Afam River State recently. The plant is designed to support improved production and processing of cassava into high-quality flour and cassava byproducts such as glucose, starch, and sorbitol for industrial use. It will encourage increased output and boost the income of smallholder cassava farmers in the state through guaranteed offtake, while providing jobs for thousands of others. With the mandate to promote economic growth, the Central Bank of Nigeria is keen on encouraging similar projects, given the headwinds the country has faced over the past years, and to diversify the base of Nigeria's economy, save foreign exchange, develop industries, and improve income generation.
The likes of Nestle and other companies that normally will import even cassava flour or starch or sorbitol or glucose, any of these cassava byproducts, will now begin to procure these raw materials from Nigeria. And this clearly attests to the vision of President Muhammadu Buhari that says that at this time, when foreign exchange is scarce, at this time when resources are limited, that when we have opportunity to produce things that can be consumed locally, that we should take advantage of this and ensure that this is done. And this is primarily anchored on the vision of Mr. President that says that we should diversify the base of the Nigerian economy. So I am extremely delighted to be here, not only because it benefits us because we save foreign exchange that would have been used to import some of these cassava byproducts, but also because it helps to develop our industries. Not only that it helps to develop our industries, it also helps to provide jobs, employment for our rural farmers, where the president has always said that the masses are very important to his heart, and that we must, as a nation and as leaders, do everything to make sure that we improve the employment capacity and income generation capacity of our people. I'm particularly delighted that this project being launched today would improve livelihoods, create jobs for our people, and enhance sustainability of farming operations for over 3,000 farmers by guaranteeing the offtake of their farm produce, cassava. This guaranteed offtake would encourage participating smallholder farmers to improve their output per hectare in order to earn additional income. Let me say that the central bank, working with some of our research institutes like the IITA in Ibadan, we have developed varieties of cassava stem that can improve your yield to close to between 35 to 38 tons per hectare. And we will be collaborating and working with you in our rural communities to see how we can make available to you these high-yielding cassava stems that can help improve your yield, improve your income, and improve your lives, and also ensure that the output that comes from factories like this are maximized. Yes, we are ready and able, willing to support any venture that will lead in processing food, not just cassava, any food, and ensure the logistics of delivering food from farm to industries and ultimately to our markets. Whatever can be done, we will do, because we think this is important for the good of our country. With deliberate emphasis on reducing our dependence on the oil sector, agriculture and manufacturing sectors have emerged as the key catalyst for reducing unemployment and driving growth in Nigeria. With the decline in oil foreign exchange earnings, we can no longer afford to support continued importation of items that can be produced in Nigeria. Our current situation has also made it imperative for the CBN to work towards supporting programs that will enable greater cultivation and processing of key agricultural commodities in Nigeria. So far, our development finance initiatives at the CBN have been focused on creating an enabling environment that will drive both public and private sector participation in the real sector with strategic deliverables around price stability, job creation, and financial inclusion, and creation of foreign reserve, among others. Our interventions seek to improve access to credit for households and businesses, which will enhance productivity and create value across a wide range of economic activities. These interventions cut across key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, health, and infrastructure. So far, the sum of over 300 billion naira has been disbursed to various projects in the southern part of the country, covering activities in these different economic sectors.
Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, called for more investors in the agri-processing business.
When we came on board, the central bank gave us loan, and we thought that we could call our people who want to do a farming to see how we can give them money to go back to farm, to see how we can give them money to go and trade, to see how we can give them money to go and fish. As I speak to you, we couldn't get 1% of effective utilization of those funds. In fact, we gave out not less than 5 billion naira. And I speak to you, I've not seen our people come back to me. The money is given to me, see what we are utilizing to do. And so when people complain, you don't want to give grants to your people to go to farming. You don't want to give grants to people to go to trading. And I laugh. If I put that 5 billion naira into this today, it would have been a different story. But then, every time you learn, there's no date you can say it is too late to learn. And so we have learned our lessons, and we have said, look, the best we can do is to see how we can complete this factory that will yield employment for our youth, that will create opportunities for our local farmers. This will not be as the normal use of government, because we have over 80% of this. So government would divest its interest to allow private individuals to come in, so we can have the best of this. So government will make sure that we will not own more than 10% of this, so that the company can own very well. And so I want everybody to come. By the time we are trying to go public, for you to invest, it's a good area for businessmen and private investors to come up and buy the shares of this great company.
The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Mohammed Nanono, noted that Rivers State is one of the top 5 cassava producing states in the country, and that the processing plant will brighten their chance of a better livelihood.
Nigeria spends every of $2 billion annually in import of wheat flour and its derivatives. It is part of the national policy to cut the importation by 60% by the year 2025 through import substitution of high-quality cassava flour. 10% of cassava inclusion policy is expected to increase consequential demand for cassava being processed into HQCP with multiplier effect of reducing import of wheat by 10% across the board. This will save the country a substantial amount of foreign exchange that would otherwise be used to import additional wheat flour. I will support these cassava farmers with high quality 10,000 tons of cassava cuttings from the National Root Crop Research Institute at Omoduke. And I think it will be delivered as soon as possible, Mr. Governor.
Nigeria is a rich nation of green land, rich resources, countless crops and commodities sufficient to feed and provide a means of livelihood for her teeming population. Chin up, Nigeria, the giant of Africa. Exciting times are here. We can be self-reliant and grow our economy if we work together to explore our potential. It takes a whole nation. Let us get involved. Buy Nigerian to grow Nigeria.
Thank you for staying tuned. We received emails from Mr. Sonjo Dumoye and Mr. Adesonya Olunlade after last week's episode. Both of them are interested in accessing the intervention funds made available by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Let me reiterate that the CBN has various economic intervention facilities, including the Targeted Credit Facility (TCF) for households and businesses, Agribusiness, Small and Medium Enterprise Investment Scheme (AGSMIS), and the Anchor Borrowers Program (ABP), among others. To benefit from the Anchor Borrowers Program, for instance, you must be a farmer that belongs in a group or cooperative, as it cannot be accessed by individuals. The fund is being disbursed by the participating financial institutions across the country. The TCF and AGSMIS and NYIF, on the other hand, are being disbursed by the NESA Microfinance Bank and other participating banks. NESA MFB is a national microfinance bank with branches in every state of the Federation. Visit their website at www.nmfb.com.ng. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, and the 4 deputy governors of the bank last Thursday planted trees at the CBN headquarters in Abuja to mark this year's World Environment Day, focused on ecosystem restoration with the theme Reimagine, Recreate, Restore. In the company of the Deputy Governor of Financial System Stability, Mrs. Aisha Hamad, Deputy Governor Corporate Services, Mr. Edward Adamu, Deputy Governor Economic Policy, Dr. Kingsley Obiora, and the representative of the Deputy Governor Operations, Mr. Folashodun Shonubi. Mr. Emefiele said the Nigerian banking sector is committed to protecting the environment by ensuring that the principles of sustainable banking are put in place when offering credits to both individuals and corporate entities. He called on the general populace to go green and join the global community in maintaining a clean environment and ridding the ecosystem of pollutants that are harmful to man. According to the United Nations, this year's World Environment Day kicked off the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration 2021 to 2030, a global mission to revive billions of hectares from forests to farmlands, from the top of the mountain to the depth of the sea. That's all from the CBN this week. Remember to log on to the website of the Central Bank of Nigeria using www.cbn.gov.ng for further guidelines on how to benefit from any of the economic intervention schemes. Or better still, locate the CBN branch office in your state for more information. Call the CBN Contact Center using the phone line below for your valid complaints. Remember, local queries may apply. Keep sending your comments and contributions to the email address fromthecbn@gmail.com and follow us on the social media for updates and uploaded episodes of the program. Join us again next time. I'm Ulia Misi Dada. Stay safe and bye for now.